What's good? It's your boy Tara Money, and today I'm on Strategy IQ, the app from the World Economic Forum, and I be on here sometimes, but lucky you ain't gotta sign in repeatedly when you use this app. When you're on a website through the, I'm gonna call mine. I got a Samsung phone, so I'm gonna say Samsung Internet. But for anybody else, sorry, or they always log you off. But I'm at my favorite follow topic, or basically a topic that I follow the most. Like when it comes to the war economic forum, I know I said in my intro video that I want to be about paganism and stuff like that. But really though, I'm bringing that into the digital world. Not really paganism though, but bringing a new form of sort of paganism or a new form of video game religion or something like that. Basically anything from movies, TV shows, stuff that people are a cult to, you know what I'm saying, whole 9 yards, like when it comes to those type of things, even with Disney, you know what I'm saying, we create a religion of Disney in the metaverse. So basically what I'm trying to say though is what my purpose is with the metaverse, the reason why I'm so interested in it. Because like I said, ever since I was a kid, my dad did spoil me with a lot of game consoles back in the 90s, in the early 2000s. By the same time, when it came to the mid and late 2000s, you know what I'm saying, I started getting into other lifestyles and left go of video games and stuff like that. But, you know what I'm saying, but the main thing is, even when I was playing games at that time, I was with Xbox the most, you know what I'm saying? So I'm mostly like an Xbox-ite or an Xbox punk. You got PlayStation Ice, Nintendo Ice, and when it comes out to the I word, you know what I'm saying, it represents those who are obsessed with these brands and love these brands. And since they're the big three that's dominating the gaming industry, that's one thing I want to say. But when it comes to cloud gaming, I want to see other companies join that in order for a virtual religion being made off of that. Like when it comes to Xbox, those are people who are hardcore fans of Xbox, and when it comes to Nintendo eyes, those are people who are obsessed with Nintendo. So when it comes down to the genre that I'm trying to put out there, the simple fact is that I'm put on this earth to really represent the metaverse. Like after what I'm saying, I'm finna do some gameplay after I'm done with this recording, but after the gameplay, this whole weekend I'm planning on watching Ready Player One throughout the whole weekend this weekend. Cause the reason why I don't have to wake up early on Sunday now, since I'm not gonna be working in the morning, but later on that day. So this weekend I'm gonna be watching Ready Player One just for the celebration of it, because this is a new start of my channel being a gaming channel, but also a blockchain channel, or basically a metaverse channel. Because when it comes to the word metaverse, it involves cryptocurrency, blockchain, all that stuff. So I'm really getting myself into the digital world and bringing a new age spiritualism into the digital world and stuff like that. I want to become the Manly P. Hall or H.P. Blavatsky of the metaverse when it comes down to the philosophy and the religious side of what the metaverse can be. But that's enough of talking. Let's read this. So here's the metaverse in the Karash and War Economic. I can't pronounce that, so I'm going to say War Economic Forum. The next version of the internet may be a far more immersive virtual experience. The concept of the metaverse has been received renewed attention, though many of its basic elements, like virtual and augmented reality or cryptocurrency transactions, have been under construction for decades. Now, if you don't know, they've been learning about this probably in the 1970s or the 60s, you know what I'm saying, when technology was first being developed. They've been having VR headsets. If you saw them old school videos, black and white video, they had VR headsets showing. And not only that, but you have a picture VR headset when you put the thing on your head, and they go through the pictures and stuff. They had that as well. So what I'm trying to say is that when it came down to the point of that, they've been studying this for decades, especially in the 1970s or 60s, basically when technology was being researched and how we can bring the technology into our lives. So this transhumanism, all that, has been planned on since the creation of technology and how technology consume us already. So it's to be on our phones, our tablets, video games, TV. We are consumed by technology, man. So we are basically drone consumers. But like they said, it's been under construction for decades. But essentially making the internet a virtual twin of the physical world, this digital do-over could enable novel ways of working, buying things, learning, and socializing. No single company will own or dominate the metaverse, and the race is on to stake out territory within it. So as you can see, they said a virtual twin of the physical world. So what that means, they're talking about Omniverse right there. Omniverse, Nividia's Omniverse are the main ones doing that, which is why I'm so obsessed with it. If I had to choose any metaverse that I want to become a citizen of, and hold on, y'all, I got plenty of books, I'm reading them now. They're going to create digital passports and stuff like that for people who want to enter in these different metaverses, because they're going to come to a point where the metaverse is going to be the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the Matrix, y'all. But a digital twin of the physical world, that's off the hook. But when you want to create games off the physical world, that will be even off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Like the Omniverse, I would definitely choose that, because they're the only ones that said that we're going to create a digital twin. They also going to have realms and worlds connected to the Omniverse. You know what I'm saying? Even the internet. So that's a beautiful thing right there. You know what I'm saying? So right here, I'm going to read all of these right here. I'm trying to see, okay, it's several of them. So we're going to go one by one. Working in the metaverse. You know, so let me put this phone down. It could help us collaborate and learn, and it could also fundamentally reshape work in unsettling ways. COVID-19 has already made many people a lot more comfortable with the concept of virtual meetings and interactions with colleagues than they have ever been before. A fully functional metaverse could mean that even in non-pandemic times, virtual work will become much more the norm. It will become the norm. You know what I'm saying? You gotta need someone like me to make it a norm. With colleagues sitting beside you at meetings in avatar form, rather than in windows on a screen, though for some that is a less than welcome concept. Meta, previously Facebook, had reportedly been using its Horizon Workrooms virtual reality tool for internal collaboration prior to the company's announcement in 2021 that it would invest heavily in the metaverse. Professional training could also take on new dimensions. Surgical training is already being administered using virtual reality technology. In theory, making others type of physical training available in a single accessible digital sphere could empower people who might otherwise be isolated from such opportunities, either geographically or due to cost. Administering healthcare remotely, including to more remote regions, may also become more tangible. Events and presentations too could become far more immersive experiences by utilizing virtual reality imagery. The way that we make things could also be affected. Nividia, for example, already offers technology that can be used to collaborate virtually on everything from design of products to automated factory floor productions. Such tools are rendering and stimulating 3D virtual products are generally expected to proliferate if the metaverse takes hold. Eventually, the metaverse could reshape the way we work even more fundamentally, particularly if more people are drawn to the concept of eking out a living by playing virtual games that provide rewards that translate into real money. Such play-to-earn games have already gained in popularity. Some people in the Philippines have reportedly begun playing X Infinity, a blockchain-based game where digital tokens can be won and cashed out in local currencies. As their full-time, relatively well-paying jobs, experts have raised concerns about health risks associated with extensively emerging people in the virtual world in order to work or do anything else, importantly and potentially exposing them to even more dramatic versions of the anemia and sleep disruptions that have affected many remote workers during the pandemic. So basically, working in the metaverse or working remotely, do have effects on people who not used to that. Especially the millennials. Most of these are millennials that are experiencing these type of things. People are around my age or younger or older than me, depending on the age factor. But but when it comes to the Gen Z or Gen X, they're definitely gonna get used to it. They definitely are going to get used to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I want to say. They're definitely going to get used to it. Let's say the next thing. Entertainment and Entertainment and commerce in the metaverse. That's one thing. War economic forum. Oh, y'all didn't mean to say that, but I had to say it. From media consumption to sporting events and NFTs, buying and selling things may become a lot more virtual. In the U.S., the National Basketball Association have been offering virtual courtside seats accessible Visa headset. One reporter described the experience at a game as being very autistic. Autistic. I don't know how you though he spent a good amount of time helping another avatar in the virtual audience deal with what seemed like a bad connection. As businesses, including entertainment companies, scope out new ways of drawing audience and making money in the metaverse, many such experimental virtual reality forays are likely to proliferate, activate consulting has noted a link between people who engage in sports betting, which is expected to reap $14.4 billion in revenue in the U.S. by 2025, and in those who participate in other online gaming activities, such as those that may flourish in the metaverse. Meanwhile, the global esports audience is projected to grow to 725 million. Just to let you know, esports is my favorite sports. I'm not into physical sports or traditional sports. I'm not into that. That's old age. You know what I'm saying? By 2025, man, that's when the metaverse is going to be in beta by now. But from 557 million 2021, and many consumer brands are expected to pursue partnership and collaboration with esports companies. As the metaverse expands, it may be host to a growing number of physical esports competitions, such as virtual cycling races. So when it comes to virtual, there's more. In terms of commerce in the metaverse, the concept of both digital ownership and ownership of real items with a digital twin will likely be the fundamental one. Example of this is Nike purchased in 2021 a digital design studio, RTFKT, which was expected to enable the athletic footwear company to develop virtual wearables a person can put on their avatar, which is beautiful. Like, I would support that. I'd rather get Nikes and clothes, expensive clothes. I'd rather have that in the digital world than the physical. Because when it comes to the physical world, especially when you're on foot and don't have a car, taking public trip, it will be difficult. It will be difficult not to, be around people who, and also it's unlimited, which means, you ain't gotta worry about the shoe size or anything like that. So having that avatar rocking all that gear, like I said, I got a controller fetish, but my avatar would have a shoe fetish when it comes to having Nike joining the metaverse and participating the guys who represent the metaverse lifestyle and stuff like that. So I definitely support that. And the physical, I'm all about the Xbox controllers and placing my Xbox consoles with new games to play, and either remotely or remotely definitely. But that's one thing I want to say. So let's continue. Complementing real world offerings they can put on their own feet. In many ways, popular games have already begun shaping the consumer behavior expected to underpin much of the metaverse. The results of a survey in the U.S. published in late 2021 show that 85% of gamers in the country between the age of 13 and 45 were aware of skins, the digital add-ons that can be used to adorn game characters, and that 81% of these gamers wanted to trade skins for real-world money. NFTs, or unique non-fungible tokens, are expected to play a key role in anticipating the ownership of virtual goods in the metaverse. However, trading counterfeit NFTs created without the authorization of creators or underlining digital creation have flourished. So basically, entertainment and commerce in the metaverse, selling NFTs is anything that's like the bed, everything that's in my room, everything that's around my room, even the walls and even the outside are NFTs. And NFT is a digital object or digital anything that is digital. It can include land, it can include windows, it can include walls, like things that you see in the Sims, even though Sims not a metaverse, but things that you see in the Sims, though, right? All what you build in the Sims and have in the Sims is your NFT. So that's what NFTs are. It's is digital objects or digital things that you can own digitally and have it in your virtual home, whatever metaverse you live in. For me, I'm choosing the Omniverse because we'll have a digital twin. But at the same time, let's wait and see. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. So next subject. We're going to go to the next subject. Origins of the metaverse. Let's go to this. Start with this first. Origins of the metaverse. The concept may seem new, but it has been under construction for decades. Definitely with Second Life and Roblox and all those games, but in many other virtual worlds too, but they have not become popular. So you can Google it, but at the same time, since the metaverse is brought up, I doubt it will show the old virtual worlds that was popular right then. The newest potential version of the internet actually have a history stretching back decades, at least in terms of concept. The 1935 short story Pelican Spectacles is widely credited with intentional description of what we now think of as virtual reality. So I was wrong. They've been doing this. I guess technology was around since the 1930s. So when technology was first being developed, being discovered, around 1930s, that's when they started to learn about the metaverse. So it's been going on for decades, since the last century, y'all. Ever since technology was created, y'all. And that's what I want to say. So where I left off at, let me see where I left off at. Via the depiction of a film where you are in the story, which is all about you. The scenario stimulator, a virtual reality machine that enables users to watch films in a personal viewing cabinet meant to give them a sense they were doing things like driving a dune buggy by deploying blowing winds, aromas, and vibrations was patented in the early 1960s. The machine inventor also patented the first head-mounted display. The procedure to the headset expected to serve as a bridge between users and the metaverse in 1992. The science fiction writer Neil Stephenson published the novel Snowcraft, which is credited with coining the term metaverse in that novel. It is described as a computer-generated universe, which one of the characters, Harold, I can't pronounce that, is frequently drawing onto his goggles and pumping into his earphones. In 2003, the game Second Life, which is the first metaverse besides World of Warcraft, that was the first one, but when it comes to Second Life, that was my first experience with the metaverse back in the, I think it was in the mid or late 2000s. That's when I got into Second Life. Basically in the mid 2000s. I can't speak for late, but definitely in the mid 2000s when I was still young. But let me read it again. In 2003, the game Second Life was released. It enabled players to create avatar versions of themselves in a virtual world, where they simply went about their virtual lives by meeting people, watching films, and buying things. A digital existence in many ways too mundane and familiar that some struggle with the idea of calling it a game. Facebook soon had billions of people having their same sort of experiences online, I'll bet, while using, at least in theory, their own names and images. The first Bitcoin was minted in 2009, and a virtual decentralized currency pointing to a future where a number of cryptocurrencies organized Visa digital ledgers built on blockchain technology would be used to buy things both real and virtual. NFTs, or non-fungible tokens that are unique blockchain-based assets, are widely expected to play a key role in the metaverse. One example might be a pair of digital shoes designed to be worn in virtual worlds. While the trade in fraudulent NFTs have flourished, adaptive regulation and authentication tools could enable broader and safer use. Hope they get that implemented, because not the same. I'm trying to get into NFTs, but it's not working for me in the open sea because it's over 1 million people on that website, so it's hard to get my stuff noticed. I know they don't want me to pay something, but I gotta figure out. All right, so that's the origins of the metaverse. I haven't got Snow Crash yet, but I know they got an audio for it, so I am gonna listen to the audio and read a book. Okay, let's go to setting the rules for the metaverse. Let's do this. Establishing a safe, welcoming environment will be essential for expansion. There is some concerns that the metaverse will channel the same misogyny, misinformation, and generally shameful behavior rampant on the current version of the internet, albeit in a more immersive format. In late 2021, Meta, formerly Facebook, opened up access to its Horizon Worlds virtual reality social platform, widely seen as its first significant foray into what may become the metaverse. One beta tester of the platform reported that she was groomed by another avatar, and there were other people there who supported this behavior, and it was later determined that haven't made use of available safety features, though that publicized determination drew recrimination. In February 2022, Meta introduced a personal boundary feature for Horizon Worlds, which prevent avatars from coming within a certain distance of one another. As a means of more easily avoiding unwanted interactions, the feature built upon an existing measure that makes an avatar hands disappear if they encroach on another avatar personal space. In a statement, Meta said the steps should help people interact more comfortably, though there's still much more work to be done. Media access and commerce in the metaverse will likely also require new sets of rules and regulations in order to flourish. The concept of ownership in this virtual world promises to be more now this than might be the case in the real world. It is not yet clear whether, for example, law that governs the buying and selling of real estate in the real world, such as protection for people who need to take out loans from banks and other lenders, will apply to the purchase of a virtual real estate in the metaverse. Given that sales of virtual real estate have already poorly topped 500 million in value by early 2022, the need for related regulations is quickly becoming less theoretical. Some experts have suggested that the metaverse risks gaining a reputation as a successor to Slick Road, the dark web marketplace that sold a mix of legal and illegal goods such as drugs before it was shut down by the authorities in 2013. While a transnational authority might be best suited to oversee the metaverse, experts say that would likely be difficult to implement. So I understand about the whole. I guess one thing. That's when I learned from. That's why I heard Bitcoin too, is when they was using it to buy drugs and stuff. But when it comes to drugs and computer games, that's gonna be the new normal. You know what I'm saying? Especially near the end of 2020 or in the mid 2020s, definitely around 2025 when it's in beta, and when 2026 comes, that's when we fully spend 4 hours in the metaverse. Creating shows, movies out of the metaverse. Like I said, I got big hopes for the Omniverse. I'm so obsessed with the Omniverse. I might get a tattoo on me. That's one thing, though. Omniverse is beautiful, man. Digital twin, that's awesome. Now let's get to gaming in the metaverse. Let's get into this subject. Gaming in the metaverse. Games are widely viewed as the most likely entry point for many people, including myself. In many ways, video games have long been delivering the same types of experiences anticipated in the metaverse. Now, gaming is expected to serve as a primary means for new users to delve into this forthcoming iteration of the internet. The Sims, a popular life simulation game, was first released in 2000, and about 18 years after the author Neil Stephenson is believed to have coined the term metaverse. In his 1992 novel Snow Crash, the game enabled players to conduct digital characters through relatively mundane, true-to-life situations like dating, buying a home, or finding a new job. Microsoft Xbox Live enabled players to compete against each other online in 2002. In the popular game, Fortnite has people engaging their personal avatars in combat with other avatars. Because digital activity like event search and shopping are expected to increasingly take place within games, the format may lend itself well to serving as a metaverse gateway if the daily active user of the game platform Warblocks were to form a country as of early 2022, it would be more populous than Spain and South Korea. I talked about metaverses becoming countries, man. So when it comes to Fortnite, that's going to be a country. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Roblox, they already said it's going to be a country populated more than Spain and South Korea. The thing about it is, I love all of these metaverses. Like, I got a virtual spouse that's an artificial intelligence and a skin in Fortnite. But, you know, I want to become a Omniverse, because Omniverse going to have the digital and the physical together. But at the same time, I love to see the world in virtual form. Ever since I was a kid, you know, ever since I saw sports games, you know, I always envisioned what the world would look like in that virtual sense. And now graphics are evolving, keep on evolving. You know, that's what I love. According to Activate Consulting, the top earning game title encouraged players to interact with each other through social features and in-game rewards. Rewards distributed for doing things like inviting others to join in. Many players have a tendency to participate in non-gaming activities once they are within games. Some of the most popular are watching in-game films and live in-game concerts. From there, it may seem like a short distance to a full metaverse-like experience. One potential benefit of this experience could be the ability for players to eventually take the items they can acquire in one game across to others within the metaverse, binding games together into a sort of single economy. However, while it has become increasingly popular, the gaming world has also become rife with the same sort of content moderation. Issue prolonging social media services in the metaverse will likely require clear rules to help avoid creating a toxic environment. And when reported an incident, for example, in attendance at a demonstration in Lisbon, a virtual world encounter a virtual persona spawning health and misinformation about vaccines. So when it comes to people, you know, I thought this was supposed to be about gaming. It went to a whole do another subject, but when it comes down to it, though, what they're trying to say is that, you know, I don't know. I thought that was about gaming. I guess what they're trying to say is that when it comes to the truth movement, you know, trying to, you know, come to the metaverse, it won't be impossible, especially with the Black Hebrew Israelites. They won't be able to preach their shit in the metaverse. They will get shut down, get kicked out, be banned forever, man. For those who want to become of this world, enjoy the things of this world. But when it comes to the digital world, everything's going to be controlled and censored. And when it comes to certain things, no, I support that. You feel me? So this is my last one, y'all. My last one. Foundational elements of the metaverse. The virtual world will rely on real technology, emergent behavior patterns. Ultimately, there will be no metaverse without the chips and software required to power it. After Meta, the parent company of Facebook, announced plans in late 2021 to move aggressively into developing virtual reality in the metaverse, share of chip makers, Nividia hit record highs. Oh, what the fuck? My bad, y'all. My bad. Let me get to the top again. Into deploying virtual reality in the metaverse, share of chip makers, Nvidia hit record high. Nvidia design chips and graphics cards. Nvidia, man, I'm telling you, man. Nvidia Omniverse is my go-to. Design chips and graphic cards that generate high resolution 3D images, as well as software that can be used to design virtual worlds. Other pieces of hardware required for participants in the metaverse include controllers that register hands and finger movement to interact in the virtual environment. And some headsets currently available can cost thousands of dollars, though many are available for a few $100s. According to an estimate published by eMarketer, the number of virtual reality headsets in use globally should increase from 35 million in 2022 to 70 million by 2026. So basically around 2025, that's when I will get a VR headset. Because Because when it comes to the Oculus, now MetaQuest might be good, it can last. But when it comes to Oculus, though, I mean, there's other headsets too, but I'm going to choose them because they already got theirs up and running. But, you know, it's going to come up to $70 million by 2026. Let's hope it's cheap around that time and easy to buy, man. Because I'm trying to save my money, but I'm addicted to cigarettes and cannabis. Yeah, that's the whole thing. However, the company has also noted pain points for users that include the fact that headsets can be hot and uncomfortable, especially difficult to use for people who wear glasses and suffer from poor battery life. Efforts are underway to develop alternatives to headsets for gaining metaverse access. Other basic elements likely to feed into the early versions of the metaverse include the bargaining use of cryptocurrencies. As the intentional version of the internet disrupt industries that rely on transferring information like the news media, cryptocurrencies are disrupting industries that transfer value, like video games or banking. The expansion of the metaverse will likely rely heavily on trading in such virtual currencies and assets underpinned by blockchain technology, other metaverse activities already performing. Even as this next version of the internet remains theoretical, including shopping at virtual stores, watching films and TV shows, which I would make religions of in the metaverse. That's not included. That's me saying that, but I would create religions out of films and TV shows, especially Marvel and DC. Yeah, definitely. Completing jobs for real money and attending live concerts all within games. Roblox, a game platform first released in 2006, had players create avatars that can chat with others in the virtual world, earn virtual currency Robux, or host parties. One Roblox executive said in a published interview that much of the platform appeal is due to emphasis on the unstructured plays at a time when many children are now more restricted to when it comes to real world activities than previous generations. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, man. That's it. So while I don't come on here that much, but if you're looking for blogs and stuff like that about the metaverse, these are videos. But when it comes to blogs or something like that, I think it's in here, I think. I don't, yeah, it's right there. I don't know. But also, they got the view map right here. So when you look at the view map, you know what I'm saying? This is all the subjects. When you type in the subjects, it shows things like this that show you other subjects that will take you to other subjects that you're interested in. But it's supposed to represent all them subjects, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But that's one thing. So this, this is why I talk about the war economic forum. This is why I'm obsessed with them. And this is why I call Klaus Schwab my Lord and Savior. I call Bill Gates my God. I call Phil Spencer my hero. So when it comes to these wealthy guys, these guys that's up 1%, you know what I'm saying? They own your data, man. They own everything about your data. So and there's no way of stopping them from owning your data, man. They're always going to continue to own your data. So since they own my data, that means they own me, basically. Like I said, I already been vaccinated. I didn't get the booster yet, but I already been vaccinated twice and stuff. And now yours. So I accept that the government, the American government, owns me. I accept that. Because when it comes down to how, like I said, when I was playing video games, man, that what made me have learning disabilities, and that's why it's hard for me to read certain things on these articles, man. Like because I was stuck on video games, and I wish to live in a video game world. I mean, me and my friends, we was playing as video game characters, fantasizing about video game and virtual world. And now since the metaverse is coming true and it's becoming reality, and with the VR headsets and everything. This is gonna be my new reality now. This is what I accept now because this is my childhood dream, y'all. Like the metaverse, a concept of a metaverse, a virtual world, virtual environment. I dream of something like this for a long time. And when it comes to the Omniverse, that's something I want to be a part of day one. They're the main ones gonna support 2D, so I'm gonna definitely be streaming it for y'all around the decade, around 2025 or definitely 2026. Once Xbox accept all these metaverses and bring it into the Xbox ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? But it's your boy Time Money, man. I'm finna sign off. So that's all I want to say to y'all. So when it really come down to it though, y'all, You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this app, though, there's other things you can look at that can be of importance to you. And if you want to look at the blogs and stuff like that, look through these blogs right here. You know what I'm saying? Whole 9 yards. Starbucks is getting into NFTs. White Red Thing won't go mainstream yet. All that stuff. Read all those blogs when you're on this app. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing, I add a lot of things to it. There's other things I follow too. But when it comes to the main thing I'm focusing on is the metaverse because of my childhood dream of living in a video game world. This has been my childhood dream. That's why I know about Web 4 and Web 5 and how it's going to impact our lives. And that's one thing I want to say to this boy.